Even as Moto Guzzi begins taking pre-sale orders for its all-new V100, it is confirmed that its ever-faithful air-cooled V-twin will remain in production for a few years yet. The new V7 Stone Special Edition declares that fact loud and clear. In its present Euro 5 compliant version, the Stone's engine displaces 853 cubic centimeters and delivers an honest 65 horsepower. It's a detuned iteration of a powerplant that started out as a 744 cubic centimeters design and eventually grew to 850 cubic centimeters and 80 horsepower. The engine powers all the present V7 models and what's left of the less successful V9 series. The horsepower numbers aren't the only differences. The engine also replaces more expensive components, such as titanium intake valves, special conrod forgings and aluminum pushrods with more accessible parts. The new general-purpose version of the Moto Guzzi Twin also features a press-fit crankshaft rather than a forged unit. This is a legacy of the engine's developmental history. Press-fit cranks are both less expensive and offer more flexibility when it comes to changing an engine stroke to achieve different displacements. The bike retains the solid 10.5:1 compression ratio of the V85 TT, but breathes through a central 38mm throttle body. The V7 Stone Special Edition also gets a high-performance aero exhaust system that helps the engine return 66.5 horsepower along with a flatter torque curve. I love the simplicity and sound of the air-cooled V-twin, especially with the dry clutch. That slight rock at low revs is there, but not intrusive. You will feel the torque reaction, but it doesn't affect the ride or handling. Even with the standard exhaust, it has a deep throaty growl that makes the engine sound bigger than it actually is. Add that all together and you can't help but smile, and that is what the Moto Guzzi V7 is about, smiling. There are various model options available, from the all-new 100-year anniversary Centenary model to the Stone, Racer and Carbon models. All have their own distinctive charm. If you are in the market for a new bike, why not go and find one to test? Sitting on the Moto Guzzi V7 Stone, everything feels very intuitive. The seat height is under 800mm and riding position is comfortable and very neutral with only a slight weight on the wrists. This disappears as soon as you are traveling above 40 miles per hour. The dry single-plate clutch is surprisingly light, but has a solid feel much like the rest of the bike. The gearbox is slick and the bike enjoys being pushed quickly through the gears. After 2014, it got a 6th gear too, which made it seem faster even if it wasn't any more powerful. Keeping the seat height low opens the V7 Stone up to many riders put off by the high seat position of so many modern bikes. There have been other improvements since its relaunch too, and the newest, more powerful model promises even more fun. This is about so much more than power though. The simple pleasure of the Moto Guzzi V7 is rolling on the throttle on at low RPM and feeling the deep rumble turn into a gradual surge of power. Riding it for this review showed me it is an addictive motorcycle. Even after things smooth out above 5000 RPM, you never forget you are riding a motorcycle. Rider aids are kept to a bare minimum of ABS and traction control. The Brembo brakes give you plenty of stopping power with a beautifully progressive feel. The pull on the lever is easy, so you never feel the need to squeeze the front brake hard. The single 320mm disc on the front is plenty with the sharp 4-piston caliper, and the 260mm disc rear brake has a strong but graduated bite. From the Mark II on, you get a Continental 2-channel ABS system as standard. It worked really well and was never intrusive. It is the system designed for the California, so is now well tested. Traction control is also standard and has 3 settings to control rear wheel spin. Standard is perfect for most conditions, but there is a rain setting if needed. You can also turn it off completely if you have a hooligan moment and want to let the tires spin up a little. You get carefully chosen components everywhere on this motorcycle, right from the front wheel to the rear fender, each manufactured to fulfill the needs of the motorcycle and rider. Moto Guzzi have added nothing that is superfluous. Even on the base model V7 Stone you see quality everywhere you look. Front suspension is standard non-adjustable right-way up Marzaki's, and at no point did I feel they were lacking. Rear suspension on most is simple preload adjustable shocks, and it does the job on the road perfectly well. Öhlins fully adjustable shock absorbers are fitted to the racer model, but they are only really needed for track day riding. At normal road speeds the standard suspension works better than the ones fitted to many modern bikes. The setup is plush without being soft, and the simple preload adjustment is more than adequate when carrying a passenger or luggage. The fuel tank is generous enough to make this a practical old-school touring bike too, which is a nice touch. By keeping things simple, Moto Guzzi have achieved what many seem unable to. They have kept weight down. The bike weighs in at less than an SB650, making it among the lightest of any comparable bikes, and there is something reassuring about the mechanical throttle linkage.